Seaway and the Thousand Islands of New York. It's here on these waters where the nation's best bass anglers are competing in the first Bassmasters team tournament, a double elimination competition in which each member of the four-man winning team will each earn nearly $100,000 for just 6 days' work. There's fish here to be caught and some surprises, like when sudden death fish-offs decide the outcome of 4 fishermen. I'm Ray Scott. You stay tuned as these Bassmasters put it all on the line for more than $500,000 in cash and awards. The Bassmasters will be right back.
The mighty St. Lawrence, the passageway separating the United States and Canada, the giant seaway linking the commerce routes of the Atlantic Ocean to the heart of America, and a river that boasts a rich resource, bass, both largemouth and its usually smaller cousin, the smallmouth. It's on these waters, in and among the islands and out into huge Lake Ontario, where the nation's best anglers are competing the next 6 days for $548,000 in cash and awards. Here's how it works. For the first 3 days of this tournament, the 268 contestants compete out of Clayton, New York, fishing as they would in any Bassmaster Invitational, drawing for partners and fishing for individual scores. Since this is the first competition of the 1987-88 Bassmaster Tournament Trail, the pounds and ounces of bass these anglers catch the first 3 days will count for Angler of the Year honors and qualifying points for the 1988 Bassmasters Classic. At the end of the first 3 days, the top 140 anglers advance to the next round. At this point, the top 35 fishermen, 1/4 of the field, become the captains of the four-man teams. The other 3 members of the team include an angler from each quarter of the standings. The previous catches by these anglers will be erased, and the teams will start even. Even though the total team weight of bass is what will advance them to the championship flight, the individual members of each team won't fish together, but rather with an angler drawn from the other 34 teams. Remember, though, it's the total weight of the 4 team members that determines the championship qualifiers. At the end of the 4th day, the weigh-in moves to Alexandria Bay, New York, the site of the championship round. It's in Alex Bay where the scores will be added and the top 5 teams advance to the final round. But that's 4 days away, and the test for the first 3 days is to make the 140 cut. The fishing is good. The bass are in the last stages of the spawn, and the fishermen are catching them. Stay tuned as the Bassmaster Team Tournament travels to Alex Bay for the final cut and the 2-day championship round. We'll be right back. Alexandria Bay, the heart of the Thousand Islands and site of the final fish-off in the Bassmaster Team Tournament. It's the end of day 4, and 35 teams have weighed in, and 4 out of 5 for the championship round are quickly determined. Veteran pro Basil Bacon's team with Jack Haynes of Louisiana, Mike Katara of Texas, and Jerry Neely of Ohio capture the top seed position. Former Bassmaster Classic champion Larry Nixon of Texas will lead the strong second team with Chet Doffett of Missouri, Kenneth Dusty Pine of Indiana, and former Classic champion Stanley Mitchell of Georgia as partners. The third team in contention is captained by Tom Mann Jr. of Georgia. His team members include Doug Youngblood, also of Georgia, newcomer Mark Davis of Arkansas, and veteran BASS tournament angler Guy Aker of North Carolina. Florida angler Charlie Murphy captains the 4th team, comprised of Megabucks champion Roger Farmer of Georgia, Texan Randy Rucker, and longtime pro Randy Fife, also of Texas. But the 5th and final team is yet to be decided.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I might have your attention, the computer has just indicated that we have a 2-way tie between the 2 teams struggling for the 5th position, the 5th team. That team is captained by Rich Tarver of California, and the other team by Larry Allard of Massachusetts. I'll ask both of those captains if they would to come up here. We'll have to make a resolution of some way. Rich Tarver, Larry Allard. The Rules Committee has determined that rather than flip a coin, this is too big a flip. The potential for either of you two is for your team to win is nearly $400,000, and that's too big a flip of the coin even for Las Vegas. So what we're going to do is give you two captains the responsibility of getting your teams together. We give you 10 minutes to make that, 15 minutes to make that determination. Get your boats together, make pairings between your team and his team, so that Rich, one of your members will be fishing one of Larry's members. You'll be departing here in about, we'll give you, say, 20 minutes from now. I think you'll be ready by then. We'll send you off. You'll have 1 hour. We'll have another boat anchored right out here, and that'll be the flag boat. We'll send you off with a blow, and we'll have 1 hour. When it's back, we'll weigh the fish on these scales, and from that weight, if it's not a tie, we'll know who the fifth team is. Pot right?
And sometimes things happen in pairs.
All right, Rich Talbert, captain of his team, brings in one bass, it appears, or I might look mistaken, it's two. Rich, it's going to be close. Right now, there's a amount of ounces separating, and you're leading, I believe, or were until this past, the last gentleman came in. I believe this may put you back in the lead by a few ounces. And the scales for two smallmouth bass for Rich Talbert of California. 2 pounds, 8 ounces. It is. Nice hand, folks. Now, what's the tally, gentlemen? It is tied, the dead tie. The dead tie. I want to comment.
Ray, we got, they're both going to be disqualified, I guess. I ran down there. Incredible. I ran down there, and I pulled up on the spot, and I caught a bass. And the minute he flew over the gunnel, I ran and put my jacket on and turned the key on and said, let's go. Because when I caught a bass, I was going to leave. And as I was starting the motor, he set the hook, and he had his fish. I went back to the deck. I got on the front. I threw. I looked at my watch. I knew I had, and I made one cast, and the little bat gets it, and I saw a boil in the water, and I set on sight, and I had that fish, and that's how I get it. It's very frustrating to tie, of course, but I'm happy I caught on my very last throw to at least keep it close. I don't know what we're going to do now, fish all night or something.
Well, I think the only thing fair to do is do another hour. And the only fair, I mean, we're not going to flip a coin, by God. It takes this time next year. Everybody in favor? How about you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, gang, let's give them a nice hand. All right, get your captains together.
But there's always an important fish to be caught.
It is incredible to think a man of your age and size has the endurance to stay with it like you have. All right, let's watch it. Larry Allen. 1 more time. Wait. 2 pounds, 0 ounces. Now, Larry, this probably be the last chance unless there's a tie.
I'll tell you, if it happens again, I can't talk now. You know, tell you how I caught that fish.
Speak English.
Let me speak English. Tell you how I caught that fish. I was so tired out there, I stopped behind the seat, threw my worm over the side. And all of a sudden, it started swimming down the shoreline. I said, you gotta be kidding me. And I said it. He says, my partner says, you gotta be kidding me.
Friday, opening round of the championship flight. Today, the 5 teams fish with their team members, 2 to a boat. Each boat of anglers is allowed to keep 10 bass, which must measure at least 12 inches long. The area the contestants are fishing is Lake of the Isles, a 3-mile-long by 1-mile-wide body of water connected to the St. Lawrence on one end by a narrow chute. The other entry to the lake is through a creek on the Canadian side. The lake is divided into 10 numbered holes, similar to a golf course, and much like the fishing layout in previous Bassmaster Megabucks tournaments. Each hole is fished 1 hour, and then the anglers move to the next hole, repeating the procedure until all 10 holes are fished. 10 long hours. One team to watch is Nixon's. Not only are all the team members experienced anglers, but also Larry Nixon admitted earlier that he's fished Lake of the Isles in previous tournaments and knows the lake well. The early predictions of Nixon and company bear fruit.
It's a good one.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what lipping is, huh?
No. I told you I was too fat to reach down there to lift him.
But Larry doesn't listen to his own advice.
Good job. How dumb can you get? And I'm talking about y'all, Stanley. I won't do that again, I swear. You know why I did that? I'm going to tell you right now. No, size of my rod.
And the jerk-em in the boat technique continues to work.
Good job. Good fish. Good fish. Way to go, Stan. Good fish. Take him off for you. Keep at him.
The Nixon team gets more help with the live well. The day turns dark, damp, and dismal, but the fish cooperated.
22 pounds, 13 ounces. Boys, I want to tell you, you should be very proud of yourself.
Well, it was, we thought it was going to be tougher than it was. We started out, we got very fortunate and caught a lot of fish early and just stayed with it. We established a pattern in about 15 minutes.
After you got there?
Yeah.
What was it?
Well, we were throwing a red-headed jitterbug. It died about 10 feet, but yet it's working real slow, you know, to get it go down there.
I don't know why I asked.
Nixon and Mitchell's efforts come to the scales.
Now, the biggest stringer for any two-man is 22 pounds, 13 ounces. Stanley, you ought to feel real good, you and Larry both. Watch the scales. 23, make 23 pounds. 15, hold it, let me make sure, 15 ounces, mark it.
And the other half of the team puts forth their effort.
Now, remember Larry Nixon and Stanley Mitchell came up a minute ago with 23 pounds and 15 ounces. Here we have Chet Dowdett, the other part of the team, and Dusty Pine. They're partners, Larry Nixon and Stanley Mitchell's partner. Now, remember, whatever goes here will be added to the 23-15 caught by their two teammates. And the weight, 15 pounds, 4 ounces for these two gentlemen.
At the end of this first round of the championship, here's the way it shakes out. Nixon's team is in the lead, followed by Larry Allard's fishermen, and then Charlie Murphy's anglers. Tomorrow, one of the 5 teams will take home nearly $400,000. Stay tuned as the Bassmasters follow these anglers on their final quest for the gold. The Bassmasters will be right back. The final day of the Bassmaster team tournament. And after yesterday's opening round, the strategy for most of the teams is to change partners today, hoping to share information gathered from yesterday's partners. But one team doesn't change, the Nixon team. And again, the big guy scores.
Come on.
That little lightweight.
Yeah.
And again.
Good fish, Stan, good fish. Don't you do that just yet. He ain't no mudfish either. Come on, baby. Oh!
pretty bass, my man. If you had any help, we'd have a heck of a string.
Well, help is coming from the other half of the Nixon team. But the Nixon team isn't the only one catching fish. Larry Nixon's team scores again.
Hey, my machine gun. Get him, Bubba, get him. Oh, boy.
And again.
Stand by, stand by.
The crowd overflows in the weigh-in area of Uncle Sam Boat Tours, awaiting the return of these 20 anglers and the Bassmaster team champions.
All right.
Team captain Charlie Murphy and partner Randy Rucker come to the scales.
Murphy's got to have, and his partner's got to have a big bunch of fish. Randy Rucker and Charlie Murphy. And folks, unless I am badly mistaken, this is a giant creel. Are we ready? Drain your water good. Make sure your water's good. I know it is, but let's make absolutely sure. We don't want to give them any credit for anything you don't deserve. All right, that's good. Watch the scales. 24 pounds, 9 ounces. All right, fellas, what about it?
And now yesterday's leaders. The first half of the Nixon team weighs in. They need bass in the bag, a lot of them.
And Chet Dowdy coming in here. He and his partner, Dusty Pine, coming aboard. And they have fish, I can assure you. Now, gentlemen, you're 30-something pounds behind. That means that for you to win this thing, you and your other two partners coming up have got to come up with that much weight. I would hope you've got at least 15 pounds. Let's find out. Watch the scales carefully. 17 pounds, 9 ounces in market. Let's reach in. It's beautiful. Now, the question, of course, your partners will sweat out with you the next two anglers, and they're coming up right now. They got to have how much?
And now the team captain and partner.
They got to have 14 pounds and 8 ounces in order to do the job. These are both former world champion fishermen, Larry Nixon and Stanley Mitchell. It's going to be close. Stanley Mitchell took a big, deep breath. Now, let's make sure the water is drained off here. Hold it up high so the folks can see the water is going out of there. We want to make sure. All right, hang in there. Watch the scale. 20 pounds, 0 ounces. 20 pounds, 0 ounces. Stanley, get that fish, boy. Bring me up 3 or 4 big fish up here. Get a hand. Now, all 4 of you stand. Move that piece of hardware out of the way right there. And stand up here towards this camera over here. Stand up there close. Hold them down a little lower. Folks, there you are. There's your winning trio. The 4 or 5 anglers who made up the winning team. And they're all about $100,000 richer. That's $400,000 worth of bass. Oh, my goodness. That's an awful lot of money for just 6 days' work. But they earned it all the way. Next week, we'll be at a small Oklahoma lake with big, big bass, and it's called Dripping Springs. Now, Bassmaster Pro Ken Cook of Oklahoma, who's also a fisheries biologist, will explain to us all how the folks there are trying to make a real trophy bass lake. You'll even see a couple of 6-pounders that won't even make the size limit. Don't you miss it now. For the Bassmasters, this is Ray Scott, and we'll see you next week.
The Bassmasters has been brought to you in part by Chevy Trucks, the heartbeat of America. Today's Chevy truck. Delco Voyager Marine Batteries, deep cycling, maintenance-free. Sears, your money's worth and a whole lot more. And the Bass Angler Sportsman Society, the world's largest bass fishing organization.